This is Michael J. Martin, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online.
And we're back. The Gary Russen program, and we got non-stop talk your way this last hour of the Gary Russen program. Actually heading into the last hour and a half. And in this next half hour, we'll continue talking about fidget spinners. That's another part to that story. Also coming up in the next half hour, we'll do a scroll through social media, visiting Twitter. And let's see, hope that maybe we can get some responses out there in Radio Land this afternoon. Gary Russen program on live here across America on July 10th, Monday afternoon. And it kind of rained this morning. I slept through it. I guess I just that tired a lot of the time. So I don't know. Just something like that. Anyway, we've got a great half hour planned for you as we continue talking. And of course, don't forget that that 3:30 news. You've been listening to us, right? You heard there was no half hour news break at the half hour at 3:30. We said there is, but I'm going to take that out because in the last hour, normally what we do is we skip the 4 o'clock, the last hour, usually on a slow news day. Today's kind of a slow news day for some reason. I don't know why. It's just pokey like it was Monday. Well, pokey like it was Friday when I did the best of jazz, the smooth afternoon, smooth jazz. It was a pokey news day, so I kind of played more music. And it was another pokey news day. Well, Saturday I don't do news. If I do a Saturday broadcast, I don't cover news. But on this Monday show, usually it's kind of one of those tight news days. But if I see no breaking news before I go on the air in my prep, I'll just kind of say, well, I'll do whatever news I got. And then in the last hour, I usually drop everything and do 45 minutes of nonstop talk in the last hour. So that's what we're going to do this hour. 45 minutes of total nonstop talk on the Gary Russen program here on GJRB. Because this is the Gary Russen program, GJRB's original internet news talk program. So we're always having news anyway throughout the program. So we kind of mix news with some of the stuff we talk about. And coming up, we're going to talk about the airline that wants passengers to stand. Yeah, we're going to have that coming up. And a teenage got jailed for slapping and hitting a Muslim with a teen with a bacon. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk about that coming up. And let's see, anything else that comes to mind. So if you want to be part of the show, you're welcome to do so here. GJRB Online on Spreaker across America on the semi-freestyle edition of the Gary Russen program. We're going to have another one of those shows coming up as as I told you, when we do our sporadic schedule. The Gary Russen program each week shifts to a different day. 1 week I could do a Monday. This is the first Gary Russen program for July. And it occurs on the second week. We do a Gary Russen program on the 10th. We would ordinarily be doing another one coming up the following week on the 13th. I don't know. I'm going to try to see if I can put in a Gary Russen program on a Wednesday. And we do a Wednesday that is another semi-freestyle show, and it includes news and comment at the 3 o'clock hour. And I've got that one coming up. We were overdue for one of those. I haven't done that show in a long time, so I'll be doing another semi-freestyle show on that day. So I hope you'll tune in for that. And you noticed we've been going on the air at 1:59:12 or 1:59 and 12 minutes. That's going to change. The Gary Russen program is going to go straight up at 3 o'clock on our next edition. So we're going to be doing that now. Straight up at 3. When we go back to the Gary Russen program. No opening preview. Because sometimes my previews don't work. It's not... My timing is kind of off, and the previews don't always... Oh, don't ask me why. Anyway, we'll get into that. And let's see. I want to mark something here real quick while you have the time, and I don't forget. I don't know what page it's on here on my rundown. So I think I'm going to have to mark it somewhere else. So at 3:28. So I'm going to mark that 3:29:30 on that break coming out. Okay, so I'm going to have to check that. 3:20. Okay. So I'll mark that. And I'm going to be doing something with that. And of course, the Way Out There that we do coming up Friday will remain going on the air at 1 minute to the hour, because I usually preview that one because I got some. Oh, I got a good show coming up next week on Way Out There. The strange, the bizarre, the unusual. Got a great show now. When I announce them this early, it's tentative. That means I'm not sure it's going to be on. I'm hoping we get to do the program, or we, promote it just a little bit, not much. But I don't promote shows until 24 to 48 hours before they go on the air. So, but I will be this month doing a Way Out There show. The third, it's on its regularly scheduled day, and that is the third Friday of the month, when we do our once a month edition of Way Out There. And we got another one coming up. We'll start off at noon that day with the last 7 days. And then right after that at 2 o'clock Central Time, we'll have Way Out There. And I got a great show lined up. We're going to do part 2 on those creatures in Pennsylvania. Talked about that last time. It was a real good show last time. So we're going to finish up that one. And then I've got another story about artificial intelligence. Really spooky because it gets creepy. Robots. I mean, they're robots that look so real they walk and talk like we do. They look like human. I mean, if I had one, they would be doing their own show on this program, on this station. I'd have robot personalities. Yes, I probably would. But yeah, they would be. I definitely don't want a robot on myself, please. Thank you. I just don't think so. But I would probably have a robot type person running a show. I don't know. I probably would have someone in there, some personality. Keeping this station going, or a robot board off. But I get enough with automation, so, I like automation and everything, but like I tell you, like I said before, I like doing my shows live, too. So, and that. So, let's see, when we get back into this now, I'm going to go back into that story on fidget spinners part 2, because I want to get into telling you about what I think about it. Let me see. I'm going to go down the page where that was. Here it is. Parents are worried about dangers of these fidget spinners part 2. Continuing the story. Oh, just knocked myself off the air, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay. No, I didn't, because that pops up another. Okay. Whew. Pops up another tab. Okay, I was lucky there. All right. Anyway, saying that again, fidget spinners are dangerous, and there's one boy whose name is Joeli Morlos. Cautioned her son Caden, so that her name is the mother apparently, Joeli Morlos. Cautioned her son Caden about the dangers of fidget spinners after seeing a news story about the Texas girl who choked on a loose part. But this didn't stop the boy from popping it in his mouth. A piece of spinner was swallowed, and it shows pictures of he was this was in Albany, Oregon story. Morlos, she rushed her son to the hospital and was unable to get the part out of his chest. It was transported to another hospital in Portland where the disc had to be surgically removed. It was a super scary thing, according to Morlos. Then they're putting the tube down his throat and all this stuff about throwing up blood. Caden recovered, though, quickly, but according to BuzzFeed, Morlos wants these fidget spinners to be recalled and labeled with the appropriate choking hazard warnings. She has a point. Taking a picture of it here. Wow. Choked on that. Oh my goodness. Anyway, they're saying that this is a choking hazard. Carol Woods is a Missouri-based mom told BuzzFeed that her 3-year-old son was injured after a piece of his spinner was lodged in his middle finger. Woods tried to remove it, but ultimately they take her son to the urgent care center and eventually ER, where doctors used 2 to 3 tools before finally cutting the middle piece off. So, not only do they have the contents of mercury, but there's also that danger of fidget spinners actually being ingested or embedded or something that it can't be removed. And you have to wonder, maybe perhaps the dangers of this should be considered when buying these things for your kids. These fidget spinners, obviously dangerous, and it'd be best to be careful and cautious when buying something like that for your kid, because this toy is great, but you have to be kind of careful on how you use it. So it's something that to consider if you were to buy one. Be very careful, because these things are not safe. Okay? Alright, you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. We're having a good time talking to you. I hope you're enjoying the program. I hope you stay with me all throughout the afternoon as we bring you the best in Internet Talk Radio. This is GJRB, the Gary Russen program, and this is GJRB's original news talk program, the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. And this is where it all comes out. You want to talk about different things. This is where you want to, join me. And we're going to continue talking here. And like I said before, we're in the middle of, we just started off 45 minutes of non-stop talk. So that means we're not going to take any news break no more. This is slow news day, so we only have 2 full newscasts on a slow news day. And then we take another break, and then we wrap up the show. So that's what we do here. Okay. Alright, so just to let you know about that. And I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. I'm going to do right now is continue that scroll through social media that we ought to do. So we're going to continue with that. And see who's out there. And we're going to go into Twitter here right now. Yeah.
Yeah, let's scroll through social media.
Okay, we're going to go now into Twitter and click another tab and go into it. Let's see. Here we go. More often I do that, then I can right click and it'll I can then put it in the list of some of the sites I often go on to. Even the stock market. Actually, why don't we do that too? Why don't we check the stock market this hour? That'd be a good idea. At 9 minutes to 4 o'clock, I think this would be the closing numbers. This is what, about 4:30? 3:30 East or 4:30? 3:30 East, 4:30 Central. I would be, I think, 5:30 East. Anyway, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and I'm not sure, I think this is the closing numbers. Dow is down 5.82 points. The NASDAQ is up 23.31. And your S&P is up 2.25. And I believe that is the closing numbers for today in the stocks. Okay. And we are now in Twitter. Let's take a look at what's going on in Twitter. Look at some of the news stories here. This is from my home city of Pittsburgh. Workers are hurrying now to fix a damaged sewer along McKnight Road. I know that road. I know that stretch of road. Storms hit that area in Ross Township. Yeah, they had some bad storms back home. Researchers reveal a bizarre 541 million year old shape-shifting leaf organism. Large animals lived in the sea resembling leaves. Really? We're called range morphs. That's how to go. It's way out there. It's a shape shift. It's a long leaves if the seawater above them is higher levels of oxygen, according to a university of I don't know. What was it? Let me go into that story. Let me see if I can find it. University of what does it say here? Let me go down page here. Let's see where it's at. According to the university, okay, gonna go down to it. Let's see. I can't find it. Where's that? According to what university? According to what university is that anyway? Can't find it now. So yeah, I lose my place. There's one thing I think that really kind of gets my goat is when they post these stories. They give you half the story, and then when you go into the article, you can't find the stupid paragraph where it was. I hate that. Anyway, let's see if we can find it. Okay, I can't find it. Alright, well, that's an interesting. Dinosaurs and let's see. Leaf change. Marine organisms change their body, the size and shape. Oh, interesting. I'll have to take a look at this article for a way out there. That's interesting. Morphs. Okay. Alright, let's go on. Got some more stuff. Let's see. CBS News has another post. High school sophomore in Washington, D.C. state scored a rare interview with Defense Secretary Mattis. This is CBSN. And let's see. Oh yeah, by the way, we'll do sports page next hour. Okay, next hour on the Gary Russen program, we'll do sports page. Let's see. Hey, there we are, part 3 of the Gary Russen program. So if you are on Twitter, I am the Radio Maniac. You can listen to it by clicking that. You click this, and it goes into a widget. And when you click that widget, okay. And you go into that widget, and it will play right on Twitter. You don't have to even go to our GJRB TV YouTube channel. So if you follow me on Twitter, you can listen to my show right there, and you can also go in to my chat room and talk to me there too. Just clicks that balloon icon. It'll take you right in there, and you can chat with me right from Twitter. How about that? Now that sounds good to me. Let's go further down. Let's see. Entertainment Weekly. Disappearance of Natalie Holloway. Remember that story? Cold case. Let's see. Okay, Franklin Graham here. Franklin Graham. Pray for those many thousands who have fled their homes and for firefighters battling some fires in the West. We'll definitely do that, Franklin. CNN breaking news. Believe this, right? CNN. Breaking news. They asked about that's what we just talked about earlier with Comey. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Okay. Steelers number 5 in ESPN's ranking in the next 3 seasons. How about that? Other than that, we'll talk about that later on. By the way, Gary J Sports Page is coming back. That's right. We're going to do Gary J Sports Page on Saturday, live, 12 o'clock noon Central, right here on GJRB Online. And it'd be good to do sports again. We haven't done it in a while, so I've been finding some interesting sports stories. We're getting ready for the NFL season, so we're gonna be doing Gary J Sports Page on Saturday at noon Central till about maybe say 3. Noon to 3 Central. Gary J Sports Page, brand new time. I just announced it earlier. Brand new time, Gary J Sports Page on GJRB Online. So tune in for that Saturday, 12 o'clock noon. And of course, all programs are subject to change and can change without notice. So make sure you are tune to the GJRB Spreaker public site. Just go on there. If the show's canceled, I post it. If you are a Facebook, Twitter, or Google Plus follower, you'll see the announcement posted on there as well. And also on our GJRB online on Pinterest. So just to let you know about that, okay? Okay, we're getting up close to 4 o'clock Central Time here, pretty close. And you're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker and across America and around the world. I hope you're enjoying the program, and glad you could be with me today. Coming up in this next hour, we'll talk more about fidget spinners. Leave it open for you if you want to get on the air with me. I'd love to hear from you. Benos Menosan, if you're listening, you can be part of the show by getting in there and calling me on the Facebook Messenger. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get back on Facebook here too while I'm thinking about it. Let's get that here. I'm going to go back onto my Facebook page so that I can stay alert and stay alive and make sure I get all my listeners on Facebook as well as Twitter. Alright, and you can chat with me. I am right now. I'll receive your messages on the Spreaker web-based mixer. That's where I'm at right now. So you can get me there, and you can talk to me there as well. I'll see a 1 by the little balloon icon there, and I just click that, and I'll see your messages there. And then I flip right on back over to my studio mixer in the last part. Coming out. Well, isn't the next? Yeah, I think the next part is the last part. Anyway, that being said, I want to talk about something else here. I thought it would be interesting when I get into this story. The Pope warns people who are following Trump. Talk about that coming up. And let's talk about this airline that wants people to stand. Yeah, this is a Colombian airline. I'm looking at the picture of this, and there's no seats in there. You stand. How could that be possible? Anyway, it must be a low-budget airline called Viva Colombia. They're considering plans to remove all seats from its planes and making passengers stand. That could be dangerous. The hope to move will drive down fares by allowing them to squeeze more passengers into some flights, opening up air travel by working-class Colombians and budget holidaymakers. No Frills announced that this week they have added 50 new Airbus 320s and its fleet to capitalize on the country's growing tourist market. Now, these new planes will be more will have more seats and lower running costs, and the first one going into service will start in 2018. Now, according to William Shaw, he told the Miami Herald the airline was looking into a virtual travel options. He said, quote, "There are people out there right now researching whether you can fly standing up. And very interesting on anything that makes travel less expensive. I won't tire a plane like that. That's just too dangerous, folks." I'll post this on my board, on my Twitter, on all my sites, especially on Pinterest, because that is not safe, folks. One posting, one message, one person, Viva Colombia's founder, that's the one I just quoted, William Shaw, stating this, that there are people out there right now researching whether they can stand up on a plane. He added, "Who cares if you don't have an in-flight entertainment system for 1 hour flight?" Yeah. It's a 1 hour flight, maybe. Who cares if there aren't marble floors? Or they don't get free peanuts? Ryanair, who proposed standing areas in the fleet of 2010, Time boss Michael O'Leary described the standing seats as bar stools with seatbelts and expressed doubts that seatbelts are even necessary. Come on, you're riding a plane, for heaven's sakes. This plane is just a bus with wings. And he said, quote, if you ever have a crash on an aircraft, God forbid, the seatbelt won't save you. That's true. And that, I agree with that. It's kind of crazy. I wouldn't even try something like that. I mean, really. I just don't think so.
From America's Heartland, this is GJRB, Clinton, Iowa.
Yeah, I missed the time zone, but, what the heck, it's 4:03, I don't know, I just did that for the fun of it. It's 4:03 Central Time right now, and it is 5:03 East, and it is now 2:03 Pacific Time, and the final hour of the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. We're talking about the Colombian airline that wants to make people stand in flight. Yeah. I don't know. It's just not safe to me. You have to sit down. Well, if you ever fly a plane, you realize that they tell you to sit down, buckle your seatbelts. This is not going to work, folks. Really, it's not going to work. Quoting, if there's ever a crash in an aircraft, God forbid, a seatbelt won't save you. You don't need a seatbelt on a London Underground. You don't need a seatbelt on trams, which are traveling at 120 miles per hour. Civil aviation authorities disagree, though, however, and I do too as well, that these vertical seats have not been approved. Regulators in some countries so far, they may prove to be the case in Colombia. Civil Aviation Director Alfredo, let's see if I can pronounce that, Bocandria of RCN Radio says it does not approve people who have to travel like human beings. Anyone who had ridden on a public mass transit knows that it is not the best when you're standing. And I agree. Because, even on mass transit, I agree with that one. Because if you're on mass transit, if you're on I used to live in Chicago, and I know this for a fact because I had to stand on it. If it suddenly stops, you get knocked about maybe 2 feet, or you get knocked. It's really not a good idea even to stand on one of those things. The mass transit. I mean, that's not a place to stand. It really isn't. You're not safe there. It's not a good idea. I mean, I don't know where they came up with this, but it is not a good idea. I mean, who really sat there and thought of this? Really thought it through? I mean, really? I mean, who actually thought this through before they even, went? I mean, gotta be kidding me. Really? I don't know. I think that, I think it's crazy. I wouldn't try it. Not in your life. I still think so. Anyway, what do you think of that? Give me a call on that, or if you are listening, I gotta check let me check my main page here for a minute on my Spreaker and see if I even have listeners at all today. As I was looking, I haven't looked yet on my live feed. So far, I have 0 on my live feed at this time. 0. And I'm looking at my previous parts from the beginning of the show, and I am not getting anything. 0 across the board. So at this point, I guess I'm literally talking to myself. So yeah, something I do quite often. Anyway, it's fun. I'm just I'm talking to people who may be out there, who may just listen to this later. So if you listen to the podcast and you want to respond to it, I will be glad to respond back. And you can also contact me, and we'll put you on the radio. So for a future show. Okay. And let's see. We're going to go down the line here as we continue. And we're going to do sports page coming up. And we'll do that. Let's see. What else we got here? Let's look at that. Okay, let me see here. I'm going to go further down the page. Let's see. Nothing here on Twitter of interest. Looks like you got, for people listening in Pittsburgh, KDKA, I'm looking at the site right now. They are under a severe weather alert right now. Severe thunderstorm alert for Allegheny, Beaver, Butler, Lawrence. Severe thunderstorms there back home until Monday 4:30 p.m. their time, Eastern, 4:30 Eastern. So that's over now because it's 4:08 here, 5:08 East. So I think that's done. Okay, so we're going to go down the ways. Great band, Rusty Wright Band. We play their stuff on our show quite a bit. That's the one we play. One of their songs I like to play quite a bit is Someday After a While. Well, the Rusty Wright Band, the Buckingham Blues Bar, that's going to be at Fort Myers, Florida, October 13th. So that's for people who like the Rusty Wright Band, has heard their songs on our station. You can hear them live there. Okay, this time around I'm going to go ahead and now jump into Google+. There really isn't all that much going on there, so let me go back to Facebook for a little bit, that's where I'm at right now, and refresh button, and see who's out there. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Okay. Every once in a while Facebook does that. You have to click for more stories. Let's see. I'm going to go further down here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Chicago Cubs. Yeah, Cubs. Report young Cub star being dangled as a trade piece before deadline. This is a good one. Jeff Passan. Okay, has covered Major League Baseball since 2004, including 12 years in Yahoo Sports. His discussion about the Cubs kind of leads me into something, actually, which I think a lot of times I do two different versions of Sports Page. One I do in which I do a quick sports report, and then I do one that's long durated talking sports. I do two different versions, and since I haven't done Sports Page in a while, I do this. I'll just kind of go to my Sports Page theme. Let's see. It's a Sports Page update, but we could do here. Let's just do this. Let's do a Sports Page here.
GJRB Sports Page Update. Sports Page Update starts now.
Okay, let's see. Why don't we do this right now? Let's talk about a little sports here. Got a report here about the Cubs. Yeah. And then we'll do some scores here. A report coming out of here saying that Jeff Passan recovered sports and in discussion of the Cubs. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. Where's that article now? I lost it. Here it is. Going back into it. The Cubs, let's see. It's a discussion story. Cubs desperately seeking for some pitching, which I agree. Our pitching is terrible. Because the tribulations in their starters have gone through. Jake Arrieta isn't the best form. Lester went through his worst, giving up 10 runs in the first inning of the Pirates on Sunday, and so they're looking to Baltimore for Ubaldo Jimenez, who will while not upgraded over struggling arm, should be better than what the Cubs are dealing with. In the case there, Chicago has been grooming Happ, although I got to be impressed with Happ. He can hit. He's been doing pretty good. He's been drawing interest. from other teams, though. He's been drawing interest from other teams. I hope they don't get rid of this guy. He's at least bringing runs in. Keep Happ, guys. Come on. They said the team should buy him in exchange for something better. And it's hard to think that Happ would, in this type of player, to them has been doing great things in offense. The Cubs this season, despite their losing trend, and certainly is something to keep an eye on. So I don't know. It looks like they could trade this guy for Happ, the way I'm reading it. And Happ has been really hitting, though. I mean, Happ this is one of the newer boys. I mean, he's come in there and he has hit home runs when it's been crucial. He's got the Cubs back from behind a number of times. So, I have to look at it and say maybe perhaps, but I really would think they could keep this guy. He can hit. I mean, look, we got rid of Fowler. He was hitting real nice. What happened to Schwarber, he was hitting. What happened to Schwarber? We're lucky we still have the guy from, Hayward. I don't know. I hope that they don't get rid of Happ. I really would like to keep. I really think they should keep him. Can't they trade somebody else for him? I mean, why get rid of Happ? I mean, that somehow I just have a problem with this. I mean, hold on to Happ. He's a good player, man. Really. Just don't see why the heck they are going to try to get rid of Happ. That's a shame if they get rid of him because he's a good player. He can hit. So, what's the deal? Okay. So what do you think about that? Well, we'll talk about that coming up. Let's see. What other stories coming up here? Let's see. Marcus Peters. The Chiefs will beat... okay, let's see. I'm going to find some stories here. I want to see if I can find some interesting sports stories. Mueller fails to... what is it? Nadal falls to Mueller for an epic 5-set marathon match at Wimbledon. This is let's see. Okay. Why am I getting this story? I thought I had that one more story. Okay. Rafael Nadal for epic 5-set match in 4th round at Wimbledon. Mueller's best ever run with Wimbledon continues after an instant classic Manic Monday shocker. Number 16 seed defeated a one-time Wimbledon champ and number 4 seed Rafael Nadal 6-3, 6-4, 3-6, 4-6, 15-13. It's Mueller's second ever win over Nadal in the first coming way back in 2005, and it came in spectacular fashion. And let's see, why don't we take a look at scores? Let's do that real quick here. I think I'm going to go into my Facebook for that one. And we're just kind of leisurely doing sports, but I'm working on a tighter sports report. I'm working on that one. So right now, though, we do two different kinds, like I said. One that's kind of like more laid back, like I'm doing now, in a sports rundown. So I do it differently. So why don't I go into my Facebook? Let's go back to Facebook. Okay, and let's go back into the... Sometimes they do the scores. Sometimes. Let's see if I can refresh it. Usually after I refresh it. Now there's no scores there. So I don't think there's any games going on right now. I'm looking to see. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and click and see if I can find some scores. Let me see here. Trending. Okay, trending. American National. Okay, let's talk about this. The All-Star game is tomorrow night. and I see the starting lineups already. And there are some pretty good picks in the National League. Blackman is starting off. He's the leadoff man. Batting in the second spot is Stanton. Harper is batting third. Batting fourth is Posey. Batting fifth and second base is Murphy. Third base, number 28, Rendo, Zimmerman, and then Kozer, Azua, and Kozert. So they're not putting any Cubs in that lineup. No Cubs in the lineup. Okay, I guess they're saving them for pinch hitters. Huh. Okay, that's going to be good. So I think there's no games being played anyway in the American National League because this is the All-Star break. And so there are some of the players that are going to be playing tomorrow night in the National League. In the American League, batting number one, batting leadoff. Okay. Batting leadoff is all told. Ramirez is third base, batting second. Right field is A. Judge. Springer is batting fourth. He's in left field. Correa, he's from. They don't even have any Chicago White Sox in that lineup either. Why is Chicago always overlooked when it comes to picking leadoff guys? What is up with that? It just seems like that anyway. Batting fifth. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Smock. Batting sixth at first base. Designated hitter Dickerson. He's from Tampa Bay, I believe. Remember Dickerson? He played against the Cubs last week. Perez and then Betts batting ninth. And pitching is Sale. Okay, so. And then pitching for the National League is Schwartzer. So I'm hoping that we could at least see some Cubs, at least in pinch hitting tomorrow night. I really hope so. I really hope so. I'd like to see some Cubs in pinch hitting tomorrow night. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's hope. All right, tell you what we're doing. We're listening to the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online and that sports page for now. No scores at this time because, hey, baseball is being played tomorrow night in the All-Star game. So there's no scores, so that takes care of sports page up till now. But I don't see any other interesting stories as opposed to that. Going down the line here, I'm still on my a little bit on my Twitter, so I'm going to kind of drop into my Google Plus, see what's there. I'm going to go into Google now. Okay, I'm in my Gmail. I don't want to go there. Let's bounce back. Let's go back. I want to go into my Google Plus. See what's there. Okay. I want to find out a few. Let's see if we can find some stories on here. Sometimes they're chock full of headlines and sometimes they're not. Okay, mostly all liberal stuff on here sometimes. Nothing really big there that I can find. So I'm going to kind of flip out of there and go back to my main page here, which is Facebook. And there's an interview now going on, a preview of the 2017 T-Mobile Home Run Derby, which is going to be going on in Miami tonight. And Aaron Judge is with the New York Yankees. I think they're interviewing him right now.
Looking back, before I was born, probably Dave Winfield.
Miguel, I know that Fernando Tatis is going to pitch to you. What did you tell him about what kind of pitch you're looking for, and what would it mean to follow Robbie Cano as a champion if you could win them?
You know, it's great. It's a great moment for me. They can be here, and then Tati, he pitched me in the all season. I know how he throw. He throw really good, and I know tonight he do a great job. He has some fun outside, like in me. And like I say, Tanto, I'm gonna go there to have some fun with my teammates. I see a lot of monsters like the 1 and 2 over there. So go there and have some fun and try to win it. That's it. Don't put some pressure on myself and nothing. So they go there and hit.
Would you guys comment on whether an indoor stadium or an outdoor stadium makes a difference for this type of competition? And since we have both here, what you would rather have?